You arrive in Constantinople at dusk, which is a polite way of saying the city is pretending nothing is wrong. The air smells like salt and old stone and the faint sweetness of bread cooling where it probably shouldn't. You walk streets polished smooth by 1,000 years of confident footsteps. Everyone here has learned to move as if the walls will always be there, because they always have been. That's the problem with surviving everything. It convinces you that survival is a law, not a habit. The lanterns come on slowly, one by one, like tired stars agreeing to stay awake a little longer. Bells echo across the city, not urgently, not dramatically. Just bells doing what bells have always done. You hear them and feel reassured, which is adorable. You should know better. History does. You pass bakers who knead dough with the patience of men who believe tomorrow exists. Monks murmur prayers they've memorized so deeply they no longer think about the words. Children fall asleep without fear, because fear has been successfully postponed for generations. The walls have handled it before. The walls will handle it again, but the night feels heavy. Silence stretches too long between sounds. The wind carries something unfamiliar, not danger exactly, but attention. As if the world has stopped walking past the city and has finally turned to look at it. Constantinople doesn't notice. Empires rarely do. They are too busy remembering themselves. You lie down somewhere inside the city, surrounded by stone that has never failed you. You close your eyes believing this place cannot end. Outside the walls, history sharpens its tools. You wake to stone. Cold, patient stone beneath your hand as you walk the Theodosian walls. They stretch endlessly, layered thick with the confidence of emperors who assumed permanence was transferable. Soldiers move slowly here, touching the walls as if reassurance might rub off. Torches flicker, throwing shadows that look like memories refusing to leave, inside small chapels built into the walls. Candles burn down into wax puddles that resemble melted prayers. The air is heavy with incense and breath and belief. Men whisper to painted saints who have heard worse and will hear worse again. Faith is quieter when it's tired. Beyond the walls, the earth feels wrong. You can't see much, but you feel it, the way animals do before storms. The ground holds weight. Not metaphorical weight. Real weight. Thousands of men. Thousands of thoughts about entering your city. A metallic sound drifts across the darkness. Not loud enough to panic. Just loud enough to settle somewhere in your chest. You pretend it's nothing. Everyone does. The walls have stopped armies before. Stone remembers victory better than defeat. You lean against the battlements and look out into the dark, confident in masonry and miracles. It never occurs to you that history has learned new ways to knock across the darkness. Mehmed does not sleep. You can almost feel his wakefulness pressing against the city. He sits beneath lamplight, young and patient and burdened with destiny in the way only ambitious men enjoy. He studies maps like they owe him something. His fingers trace walls that are about to learn humility. Around him, the Ottoman camp breathes softly. Fires glow low. Armor rests. Soldiers sleep wrapped in wool and certainty. They smell of smoke, earth, and belief. Belief being the most dangerous weapon of all. They whisper prayers toward stars that don't pick sides. Hmed listens. He imagines the city quiet for the wrong reasons. He imagines endings. He believes history has been waiting for him, which is exactly the sort of thought history encourages right before it humbles you or crowns you. Sometimes both. The wind carries faint echoes of Constantinople bells, water, life continuing out of stubborn habit. Mehmed closes his eyes and sees dawn arriving like a verdict. The cannon fires before sunrise. Because mercy is rarely a feature of progress. The sound tears through sleep, through faith, through the idea that walls are enough. Stone shudders. Dust drifts down from places dust has never fallen before. You wake confused. Heart racing, mind scrambling for the comfort of routine. Bells ring now with purpose. Smoke rises as fires are lit too fast. Faces glow pale and disbelieving in the new light. Each blast arrives like a held breath violently released. Stone cracks. Mortar rains. The walls survive. Technically. Pride counts that as success. Defenders run to their posts, slick with sweat and fear, gripping weapons that suddenly feel small. Between cannon strikes, silence returns heavier than before. The kind of silence that presses on your ribs and waits. The night pulls back slowly, unwilling to witness what daylight will finish. Days pass. Weeks stretch thin. Constantinople grows quieter in ways no one talks about. Markets shrink. Food becomes simpler. Laughter becomes rare and strangely loud when it happens. Churches fill. Incense thickens. Prayers blur together until they sound like one long plea delivered to a sky that has stopped responding. Wax drips down icons like tears that don't help anyone dot at night. Families sleep tangled together, sharing warmth and dread. Children stop asking questions. Adults stop answering. Every sound outside feels personal. Every dawn feels borrowed. The walls still stand. That's the cruelest part. They stand just long enough to teach you hope's slow, humiliating erosion. The final assault comes before dawn because endings prefer darkness. Drums pulse like a second heart. Ladders rise. Arrows darken the air. You fight exhausted. Your hands bleed. Your breath comes sharp and shallow. Stone finally gives way. A breach opens, ugly and permanent. Voices clash. Firelight flickers wildly. Time dissolves into survival. And then, without ceremony, the walls fail. The sea sounds different now. Dawn approaches, indifferent. When the sun rises, the city is quieter than it has ever been. Bodies lie where certainty once walked. Gates stand open, stripped of meaning. Survivors move slowly, eyes down, walking through memories. Bells do not ring. Smoke lingers. Authority changes hands without asking permission. There is no announcement. The empire simply stops. Constantine XI fights without a crown. When the city falls, he disappears into it. No body, no tomb. Just absence. It feels appropriate. Byzantium ends without applause. The world hears slowly. Bells toll elsewhere. Scholars mourn. Borders reconsider themselves. The city becomes Istanbul. New prayers. New dreams. Old stones listening. The stones remain. They always do. Empires sleep beneath them. And just before you sleep, the city whispers its last night, reminding you that nothing, not even certainty, stays awake forever. Certainty stays awake forever.